Hello and welcome to the Daily Scripture Podcast. My name is Jerome Lavelle, and I hope that you're having a great day today. Today we will be looking at Psalm 19, verses 1 through 6. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of His hands. Day after day they pour forth speech. Night after night they reveal knowledge. They have no speech, they use no words, no sound is heard from them. Yet their voice goes out into all the earth, their words to the ends of the world. In the heavens God has pitched a tent for the sun. It is like a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, like a champion rejoicing to run his course. It rises at one end of the heavens and makes its circuit to the other. Nothing is deprived of its warmth. Today in the book of Psalms, chapter 19, verses 1 through 6, we hear the psalmist exclaim the wonderment of God's created world. What I hear in these verses is an acknowledgement, a recognition, a verification that one knows that God exists, and one knows about His power, glory, and majesty simply by looking at the natural world around us. When I see the stars at night, I see God's glory. When I see frost on a crisp morning, I see God's glory. When I see the immense ocean and its powerful waters, I see God's glory. When I see and hear birds on a busy summer morning, I see and hear God's glory. When I see the majesty of rugged mountains, I see God's glory. When I see the blanket of colors in the fall, I see God's glory. When I see serenity at dawn, before nightfall, I see God's glory. When I see fields ripe with grains and fruits, I see God's glory. When I see the stars in a darkened night, I see God's glory. And when I see and hear and feel a gentle and cooling breeze, I see and hear and feel God's glory. Nature and beauty is all around us. And today the psalmist reminds us that God is in that nature, that the world around us tells us about God, His majesty, beauty, abundance, simplicity and complexity, its connectedness, its ability to inspire, transcend, and mesmerize us. The psalmist tells us in these verses, the heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of His hands. Day after day they pour forth speech. Night after night they reveal knowledge. They have no speech. They use no words. No sound is heard from them. Yet their voice goes out into all the earth, their words to the ends of the world. God, the skies proclaim the work of His hands. Notice the words that are used here associated with God has created. It pours forth. It reveals. It proclaims. Yet uses no words, no sound is heard, but the voice goes out to all the world. And what voice goes out to all the world for us to see? The voice that declares the glory of God. Now, people who don't believe in God often say that God doesn't exist because they can't see Him, can't interact with Him. In Psalm 19 today, King David, I think, would disagree. He proposes that everything we see reveals God, that the blankets of fields and trees and oceans and deserts, that the waterfalls, greenery, clouds and stars, that the mountains, hills, valleys, and vistas all cry out of the glory of God. These scenes are like God's clothes, His quilt work, His garments, God's way of expressing Himself and in them God is crying out to us in His creation. He shows us His power and His majesty. As I hear the beautiful words of the psalmist, my memory goes to those memorable, those awe-inspiring natural scenes that I have witnessed personally. I'm remembering the beauty and everything that I saw there and everything that I felt there. God was indeed there. But I think too of the ordinary daily scenes of nature all around me and how extraordinary they really are. The flowering plant, the waxing moon, the bubbling creek, the lawn so green and luscious. As I reflect on today's verses from Psalm 19, I give thanks to God for creating me, for creating you, for creating our entire human race in His image. I thank Him for this life, for the opportunity to know, serve, and love Him. And I thank Him for this world that He created for all of us, in its wonder, in its beauty, in its majesty. Today, the psalmist tells us that this created world cries out, without speaking, of the glory of God. May we all take a moment to see that glory and to give thanks to our God for placing us here to experience Him in it. Thank you for joining the Daily Scripture Podcast. My name is Jerome Lavelle, and remember, our word of the day is, the heavens declare the glory of God. Until next time, be well and be blessed.